the Stealthy Crafter. So today I am doing a whip and chat. If you don't know what a whip stands for, it means work in progress. So if you have anything that you're wanting to work on, take it out and listen to me ramble about mostly my kids and also WoW. If you don't know what WoW is, it's World of Warcraft. It's one of my favorite games, so I ramble about that a lot as well. So today I'm working on Rainbow Little Dragons, and I am on her ear. I got most of her ear worked on. I'm just working on this little section, and then I'm get to go to the eyes, which I'm really excited about. So let's see, where did I put my pen? You'd think I would have been more prepared, but my husband took the kids out so that way I'm able to do this whip and chat. I tried to do it twice yesterday, and I had so many interruptions I just had to delete the whole footage. At one point you could hear my youngest making raspberries in the background, and it was just like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. So I hope everyone did have a good 4th of July. It's almost a week away now. Like, I know that a week has passed since I've talked, and tomorrow is Sunday, so it's, yeah, a full week since that has happened. But, you know, I just hope everyone was safe. No one blew off their arm. No one was crazy or anything like that. Let's see. We had a decent one for the most part. There was some crazy people driving, that's for sure. I'll get onto that in a little bit. I made myself some iced coffee, and I put it in this huge jug thing and make it sparkles and stuff like that. Oh man, I love it. So let's see. We surprised the kids last weekend, saying that they get to have a sleepover with their Nana and Papa. So on Saturday morning, we got ready, got them all dressed, and took them over at Nana and Papa's house. We were expecting it to be a very short, like, just drop them off, chat with the in-laws, and then leave and get to do our own thing. But his mom had just bought a new cell phone and needed us to help her out activating it and switching everything onto that, and that took a few hours, so we didn't get to do much at all, but we were excited about at least coming back home. I was really excited because I had plans to do diamond painting all weekend last week. I was like, yes, I get to have no interruptions. The kids are away. I get to do as much as I need. And I was planning on getting some sleep, try and catch up on sleep. None of that actually happened, unfortunately. Reason being was when we got home, it was already early evening, so close to 4. I want to say 3 to 4. I'm pretty sure it was closer to 4. And when we got into the house, we both were going, why is it so warm in here? And the AC was broken. My husband started trying to fiddling around with the circuit breaker. He was looking at the where the temperature gauge was, and nothing was turning on. So he was actually worried that it was something electronic and that was going to be expensive. And we just gotten the AC serviced a week prior to all of this, and everything was fine. So we were kind of going, what the heck, man? And we called the AC repair, and they were like, well, it's very busy. And we're like, we understand. We're not asking you guys to rush, just tell us when, the next available thing would be, and we can see if that time would work for us. And because luckily the kids, are already at Nana and Papa's, and, they wouldn't have to be burning up at all, because it was warm that day. It was in the 90s. I already had the box fans going on and just sitting in front of it going, it's hot. See. So, yeah, so he finally called. He called them after fiddling around and couldn't figure out how to fix it. And we actually got a phone call back about, I want to say about 30 minutes after the whole thing. And it was the guy who actually serviced our AC the week prior. And he goes, I'm available in 45 minutes. Is that all right? And we're like, yeah, sure, come on over. So he came over exactly in 45 minutes, like he said, and just got right to work. Just said hello and went about his business. Didn't stop for any chit chat, which is good. We offered him some water, some refreshments because it, like I said, it's a hot day. We had at least some really cold water. But let's see. It took him a while, to be honest, but I may feel like it took a while because I was just, I don't do well in heat. But he figured out the issue. And that issue cost us $200. So, yay! So, let's see. Yeah, it was, apparently we had a power surge that came through the house, and fried the wiring in the fuse that was like, and my husband could probably, I wasn't paying too much attention. I was just more focused on the fact that I was hot. But from what my husband told me, it was the fuse in the wiring between the furnace and the AC fried. So he had to replace all that wiring there along with the fuse, and that's what we had to pay for along with the service charge. And we were told that it was lucky that we got today compared to on the 4th, because if we called on the 4th, it wouldn't have been like $69, it would have been $150 something. And my husband's like, yeah, I am a little worried that this might not be enough. I don't think I accidentally got rid of some of these. Okay, well, I'm going to trust that this will be enough. So, let's see. So yeah, by the time after he finished repairing, and after he left, it was already late evening. My husband and I was just like exhausted. We made some dinner and then pretty much zonked out in front of the TV and went to sleep. And that kind of ruined the whole plans for my diamond painting, unfortunately, for the weekend. And I love my in-laws. They're awesome. They're wonderful, kind people. I'm just a huge introvert, and what's wrong with me is, well, not what's wrong with me, but the problem with me, I have a certain amount of energy during the day to deal with people, and they're not in my close family, so I can deal with my kids. And my kids can cause some energy drain, of course, because they're very active. They sometimes go crazy, but I'm able to handle that kind of drain for the day. But when I have to interact with people that I'm not as close to or that I see every single day, it takes a lot of my energy, and by the time I get home, I'm pretty much sapped for the rest of the day. And like I said, they're wonderful, kind people. My energy can only do so much, and then I'm burnt out. So yeah, that Saturday was kind of ruined, and then we woke up late on Sunday, and had to start prepping, getting ready for the cookout at the in-laws, and that was fun. I mean, I enjoyed myself. The kids were soaking wet when we got there. Their nana set out a little pool in the backyard, so they were able to splash in it the whole time and have some fun. Sorry, I gotta get more wax in this pen. I did not prep at all. Like I said, my husband took the kids and said, "You have time," and I'm like, "All right, see ya." Let's see. And I may have put too much wax. Oh well, that's all right. Let's see. So, yeah. So the cookout was pretty much uneventful. We ate some burgers and some grilled chicken, and my son had a hot dog. He was living the high life because he loves hot dogs, and my husband gave him all the works for it, and it blew his mind. So I'm not a big fan of hot dogs, so whatever. But on the way home, after we said goodbye, on the way home, we almost got into a car wreck. Let's see. At the traffic light, there were some people asking for money, and that's fine. I'm not bothered by that. What I was too bothered was the guy that was not in front of us, but I think maybe that's where the missing ones went. Okay, I'll put that to the side. Let's see. I found all these little drills on over here. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so we had two cars in front of us. Once the green light happened, he went and then just suddenly stopped, causing the guy in front of us, my family, and then the car behind us to be all stuck in the middle of the intersection, which was really scary considering that there were people, turning. And the reason why he stopped was, for some reason, he didn't want to give money to the people on our side where the stoplight was. He wanted to give it to the next side instead. So, almost caused a wreck, causing that. And please be careful when if you're going to do that. Just make sure that you're paying attention to road safety. So, after that, the ride got a little quiet on the rest of the way back. And then my husband and I got the kids settled down, got them in their pajamas. We made it an early pajama thing, made some snacky type foods for everyone. And we were getting ready to watch the fireworks in our neighborhood. And it's not a story, but there was a couple of close calls in our neighborhood with that too, man. So there's a house in across the street, on the street over us. They shoot off some really big ones, and at one point during the night, we see one of these fireworks just, instead of going up, it went that way, almost like this, but just slightly like that way, almost hitting the house next to them. And then it got really quiet over there. We're just going, well, I hope they're okay. 20 minutes later, they started shooting off again. So I'm assuming that everything was fine, but they still had a couple of close calls, and I was just thinking, maybe you guys should auto call it for now, because you're starting to get close hitting other houses. I didn't say that to them, but I was thinking it. But that was pretty much our weekend for the most part of last week. So I was pretty pleased for overall. Wasn't too insane. Just a couple of close calls, which is a record for our neighborhood. Excuse me. All right. Let's see. Had to stop for a second. Let's see. So yeah, we actually got to go to the library, by the way. Finally took a few days. What happened was husband couldn't get enough time off in the morning to take us over there, but until like Tuesday. So he took us over. I asked him, "Hey, can you please pick out a funny book for the twins, because that's for their library homework assignment?" And he's like, "No problem." So as I'm working on finding books for the rest of the kids on other stuff, for like history or nonfiction things, he goes and gets a couple of funny books. And oh my goodness, I should have known better, because he's such a dad. He picked out chicken butt. Yeah. So I hope the teacher has a good sense of humor with the kids writing the words chicken butt down for their homework assignment. So yeah, it's like, yeah, the book just pretty much say what chicken butt, like that. So my husband thinks it's hilarious. The kids thinks it's hilarious. They're quoting it constantly. And I'm like, well, we don't really say butt all the time in this household, but apparently we do for the moment. Let's see. But Tuesday was also a fun day for me as well, because that day was when the new raid in World of Warcraft came out, and I was excited because that also meant that I was able to finally fly in that game. And I wasn't able to play for most of the day. One, because kids, and two, because because maintenance on it took forever. It didn't come up until 6 o'clock, I want to say. Well, it said 6 o'clock, but someone said it came up by 5:30, my time. Let's see. Number 4. All right. So yeah, we had I had a blast doing the raid. We gotten the first 7 bosses down in it. I did a lot of fun. I did not switch from Night Fae. I stayed Night Fae. I don't know if I'm going to switch. I don't think I will, but I did a pretty. I feel like I did it pretty okay. Wasn't like the best, but I was pretty quiet for the whole time, trying to focus on all the new mechanics and making sure that I wasn't going to die to stupid stuff in the game. But yeah, we were doing great until I think the 5th or 6th boss, and that's when we did our first wipe, which meant that we didn't just one-shot it. We didn't just go in, slam our heads against it, and killed it instantly. It took a couple of tries instead. Let's see. Should I want to put any sparkly bits in here? I kind of want to, but I probably shouldn't. But I really do want to. Yeah, so, I mean, like, and then after raid, I stayed up really late that night. I was bad. I stayed up till almost 2 o'clock, I think. And all I did was just work on the quest line. And I know if I'm boring some of you guys, I'm sorry. I really love WoW. So what I did was, let's see, I did the quest line so that way I could finally unlock flying, and I did. and I logged out about 2 o'clock, I want to say. Yeah, I think it was like 2:30. But yeah, I shouldn't have stayed up that late because I was woken up really early the next day by my kids. And let's see. And then on Wednesday, there wasn't really a lot of things to do around the household. We mostly kind of chilled. I got a couple of pre-orders in from Diamond Art Club. I'm excited about that. Haven't opened them yet. I I have like 3 different boxes just sitting near the front door. I just brought them in and left them there. I'll eventually get to it and then catalog it. So let's see. And then that night, I'm going to talk about WoW again. I'm sorry. Let's see. That night we went in for Mythics. I do dungeons, so most of my talks are going to be like this, because the kids were pretty much well behaved. They had some funny stuff that they said, but let's see. We did some Mythics, and we were planning on doing a lot that night, but that didn't happen, unfortunately, because our healer, he spilled water all over his keyboard, and it was fine for the first part of the 3rd dungeon, but then at one point he couldn't do anything, and the keyboard just went kaput. Poor guy. And then he had to order a new keyboard in time for Thursday's raid. He made it. I'm surprised. I guess he has a hub or something nearby for next day delivery or the same day delivery. So, but yeah, we had to cancel at that point, and that was kind of sad, but it was okay. Let's see. What color should I do next? Get down there. There you go. Alright. Let's see. This color. So, and then Thursday, we finally killed her, normal Sylvanas. We finished the dungeon off, and that was great. I wish I could show you a picture of the healer's keyboard, by the way, because he sent us a picture later on, and it's just stuffed full with silica packets. He was trying to like mop up all the water that fell down into it. It was funny. Like I said, poor guy. But that was okay. Let's see. And then this is the last thing about WoW, and I promise. And then yesterday, I had a surprise thing to do in WoW. Let's see, this color. Had a surprise thing to do in WoW, and we got to do the new Mega Dungeon. And that was great. It was fantastic. There was a lot of different new mechanics in there. But we got through it, and then our group disbanded, and I think we did Torghast afterward, and then disbanded, and then I spent the rest of that night kind of catching up on some stuff before I fell asleep. So yeah. But yesterday also, what happened was, let's see, our kids went to go see their doctor for their wellness checkup, and they're all doing great. They're all healthy, all within the same boundaries of like where they're supposed to be. Their doctor did tell them, hey, you do need to you do need to eat vegetables. Well, he didn't say that with my oldest. My oldest was like telling him about all sorts of stuff she loves to eat. But with my youngest daughter, she's a very picky eater. Let's see. She's So when I make spaghetti, she does not eat spaghetti. Um, she'll eat the noodles as long as it doesn't have the sauce in them. So I make butter noodles instead for her, and I make like a small enough portion that I think she'll eat. And then for everyone else, I make the spaghetti, like with the meatballs and everything. And then same goes with tortellini. She'll eat the tortellini as long as it doesn't have any sauce in it. Both her and the oldest had GERD when they were babies, so they had awful acid reflux. So the poor things. And I think it kind of carried in. I know the oldest, she still has to take antacids. Actually, her doctors prescribed her antacids to take whenever she has a really bad stomach attack, because it affects her like right in the stomach so bad. Like her stomach cramps up and she's just miserable for days. Especially if we were kind of lax and we decided not to cook for a couple of days and just ate some greasy foods, then that would happen. So we're trying to be a bit more vigilant about that, and I'm trying to keep an eye out on the youngest because she really does need to eat some vegetables. She refuses. I finally got her to eat some roasted broccoli the other day. Excuse me. I need to dust the place again. It's starting to get a little dusty in here. Dust accumulates in this house so fast. And we don't have any animals. Do I want to use this color? No, I don't want to use that color just yet. Sorry about that. So yeah, we accumulate a lot of dust. But anyway, yeah, the kids were doing great. Let's see. He was pretty pleased about how much our son has progressed. Our son asked a million questions, and was just asking the doctor, well, what does that do? What's that mean? What's that? And he was very, patient and spent his time answering my son's every question. He was cracking a lot of jokes with the kids. And before you left, I was able to ask him about an issue of my youngest daughter that I've been noticing. And it was so great to have him listen to me and go, yeah, that sounds like it can be a problem. You know what? Let's prescribe her some medicine and you come back and tell me if that helps or not. So that's what we're doing right now. Seeing if that helps her out. I don't really want to talk about what's going on. It's nothing too concerning, just something I noticed. So, not going to embarrass the poor kid, especially if she gets older and sees these videos. So, let's see. And then we were kind of sweet and took the kids out to eat yesterday. But it took so long to get back home. The reason being, okay, so yeah, I live out here in I wouldn't say the boonies. I live in a small town, but I'm close by to the city. I'm able to go in within a 40 to 45 minute range. Most of the doctor places I go to are within. There is an ant. Sorry, we have problems with ants. And it looked like it was inside the house, but it's outside. Let's see. Oh. I get off track so easily. Hold on 1 minute. Sorry, it actually was inside. It was on the window, and I was not about it. We have scout ants that come by. We have construction, and that makes the ants start finding shelter. And we were dealing with an awful outbreak of them last year. This year's a little bit more on the calm side, but we try and get rid of them whenever we see them. I want them outside, not in here. Where was I? Oh, kids, doctors. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. So let me think about it. I know I talked about the kids doctor. There was something about that. Oh, so we usually go not we don't go to the doctors close by because there is a clinic, a pediatrician clinic that's close by in our neighborhood, like 20 minutes compared to the 45 minutes. The reason being was when the twins were babies, I had to switch before the twins were born because we just moved in town, and my husband at the time didn't really want to make a 45-minute trek to where our oldest doctor was, so we just switched clinics instead since it was still in the same network. Let's see. And what happened was when I switched, I was able to get my oldest daughter her checkup, and then I asked the doctor because I was told before, well, at least with my at the time when at the other clinic, that the doctor, whoever is my oldest kid's doctor, that will also be the doctor for the next kids. So I asked this doctor, are you available to be able to take in 2 additional patients? And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I'm pregnant with twins. And she's like, yeah, that should be fine. You know, when the twins came and I scheduled to have a follow-up, because you're supposed to have a follow-up within the day or the next day. With my oldest, it was like within the next 2 days. But since I had twins, they wanted, the hospital said I needed to have a follow-up the following day. And it was awful trying to get an appointment there. The receptionist, she gave me such a hard time trying to get an appointment. She goes, well, it's not going to be with that doctor. She's not available. I'm like, well, I still have to come in. I was told I need to come in. And I had to go see a nurse instead. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm supposed to come in. The problem was, after all that, every time I tried to make an appointment for the twins, because it was like, it was a few days checkup, and then it was a week checkup, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, you know, to see about the progression of the twins and how they're doing. The doctor wasn't available, and half the time my appointments kept getting canceled, and I'm like, well, this isn't good because the kids have shots that need to be taken. And it got to the point where they were starting to get behind because no one was letting me make my appointments. So I told my husband, I'm like, we have to switch back to my oldest old doctor. And he's like, okay. And that's what we did, and we've been staying with him ever since then. And he helped get the twins caught up on their shot plan to make sure that everything was safe and healthy for them, because we didn't want them to get sick. Especially at the time my son was having a lot of issues. He had congenital hypothyroidism, and we had to make sure that he was going to see a little specialist and make sure that his medicine was right and everything, which would help if we were also seeing a doctor alongside that. And that was the hugest issue that we were having, because we couldn't get that. But yeah, I'm so glad that I have that doctor. So even though it takes so long to drive there and back, it's nice to have him. But man, on the way back, instead of the 45 minutes it took, we didn't get home until 2 hours later yesterday. There was like a lot of construction on the way back. We took the scenic route, which would have only added, I think, like 10-15 minutes extra. We took the scenic route back, but there was so much construction that it just took forever. Then we were behind people who were really, really slow. And then the kids were hungry. We left in the morning after they ate breakfast. But by the time we came back, it was past lunchtime. So we decided to be nice and treat the kids out to some McDonald's. And the McDonald's line took forever. We ordered through the checkout area. And was just waiting in the parking lot for them to hand us food. And I want to say it took 15 minutes. So the kids, were constantly like, we're hungry. I know, you're going to just have to be patient. But luckily, picked it up, gave them their food, and all was well. I told them that they were being hangry, and of course my son's all like, what's that? And I had to go into an explanation. And then, of course, my oldest at that point goes, I'm not hangry. I'm like, yeah, you are. Let's see. And there wasn't like a lot of stuff that also happened this week, I think. Caught up on cleaning. That's always a good thing. My husband helped me out catch up, but now it's starting to go behind again. But I'm gonna see what I can do. Do some laundry today. Wash the bed sheets, because everyone loves to have clean bed sheets, and especially on a nice fresh made bed. So I might do that sometime today. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think yeah, most of the chores here have been caught up, so I don't have to do too much. But man, I want to say something, because I'm probably going to be doing an unboxing later on. I don't know when. Might be in a few weeks, to be honest. I have a couple of packages by the doorstep, but I was bad this week. Especially since we had to spend $200 on the AC. But Diamond Art Club, man, they need to stop. Because what happened was I saw a couple of paintings. There were 3 that I fell in love with this week. One was Warm Witch. The other one was, let's see, Clockwork Dragonling. And then the other one, I can't pronounce very well. I don't remember. Alia, or I can't. It looked like an Elsa type thing. It wasn't, but it looked like it in a way. But I just went, I gotta have one. And I had to look at my discounts that I had. See what points I can redeem. And I kind of just begged my husband. Well, I didn't beg. He was really nice. I was like, I went, I'm not on a no buy. I'm on a no buy. And he goes, well, you really want this, right? I'm like, yeah, I do. And he goes, all right, go ahead and get it. I'm like, are you serious? And he goes, yeah, go ahead. We'll should be fine. So, especially since he gets paid really soon. But I'm just so happy that he did that for me. It's just a really good thing. There are more ants out there. That is not a good thing. I'm gonna have to tell him when he gets back that we're gonna have to spray the window, because I don't want them getting in here. But let's see. Yeah, so I got Warm Witch, so I'm excited. It's hopefully should be here soonish. I don't know when. It says 5 to 7 days that it'll ship out, so I'm going to keep my eyes on it, and I might unbox it in the future. I'm sorry, I am getting distracted by seeing these ants. I'm not happy. Okay, so I'm going to cut it off here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!